Here we are at EMO Hannover 2023. The Renishaw team welcome you to our stand. I'm here with Paul Maxted, who's going to give you a tour of what's on show this year.
At EMO Hannover 2023, we have the European launch of Renishaw Central, our machine shop connectivity and data-driven manufacturing system. At EMO this year, we have a number of demonstrations which involve end-to-end processes, so Renishaw technology can be used to provide measurements, process control and automation throughout the process chain. The two parts we're talking about here at EMO this year are a tibial tray, which is a medical part for knee surgery, and a bladed disc for the aerospace industry. So let me talk you through the demonstrations we have here this year. EMO Hannover 2023 marks the European launch of Renishaw Central, our data-driven manufacturing and machine shop connectivity system. Our main product demonstrations this year feature end-to-end processes for a tibial tray for the medical industry and an aerospace part. I'm going to talk through these demonstrations now. The first one involves the Renishaw Additive Manufacturing machine. This is the Ren AM500Q, and this machine is used to produce orthopedic implants for the medical industry. In this case, a tibial tray for knee replacement surgery. For our additive manufacturing machines, we have 4 lasers, highly productive, very precise in the builds, and enables us to build intricate structures which are very good for orthopedic implants. So we can collect all the data, all the key process inputs and variables from our additive manufacturing machines and send them to our Renishaw Central system. Next to our additive manufacturing machine, we have a Renishaw equator gauging system. This system is measuring the build plates as they come off the machine, validating the quality. We're capturing data about the dimensional repeatability of the builds and using that over time to understand how we can optimize the build process. Our next process involves the manufacture of a bladed disc for aerospace. And the first operation for this is producing the turn blank features. This is carried out on a lathe, and what we have here is a robot loading parts in and out of the machine. The finished parts are loaded to our equator gauging system. The equator gauging system measures the parts coming off, it analyzes the data from parts in a batch, and then we have closed loop feedback to provide the closed loop control of the machining process to ensure highest accuracy. Again, all the data from the Renishaw equator system is passed up to Renishaw Central. Analyze the data and pass the tool offset updates, process corrections back to the CNC lathe. Inside the lathe we also have Renishaw technology. We have a tool setting arm for setting up the tools, establishing initial tool offsets. We have a probe mounted to the turret which finds the material condition and allows us to take cuts, take measurements, adjust the process automatically. Again, this data is passed up to Renishaw Central. So what we're getting now are all the key process variables of this manufacturing process. The machine, the tools, the material, and the features as we start to machine them. Now, as you can see here, we're using our Renishaw Reporter application to provide instant views of the quality of the parts being produced on the machines. So again, the data is passed up into Renishaw Central. So here we have a closed loop process with a robot. So Renishaw technology allows you to automate CNC processes to implement closed loop process control, minimize any manual intervention in the process, and allow you to run the machines for many, many hours. The next step of the process for the aerospace part is the machining of the blades on this 5-axis machining sensor. So on this machine, Renishaw technology is used once again. We have our NC4 Blue laser tool setting system for setting the tools. The system also used for tool breakage detection. We have probing systems in the machine for validating the pivot points and the kinematics. The probe comes out and it checks the material condition prior to machining. And as we start to cut the part, we then bring the probe out again to validate the performance of the process. We can update tool offsets in the machine or use other results. What we also do throughout the day is continue to use the probing system to track the process, to monitor for tool wear, for process drift over time, to ensure that throughout the day the process is kept on track with minimum manual intervention at the process. So as you can see, Renishaw technology really lends itself to unattended precision manufacturing. It reduces the requirement for people to intervene with the machining processes and facilitates successful automation. And here we have the final inspection of the parts being produced, either the bliss component or a tibial tray with machine features. So many industries require that final certification of parts on the CMM. And here we have our REVO system to enable highly accurate, fast measurement of these parts using multi-sensor technologies. So we have tactile measurement and we have surface finish measurement on the same machine. As you see, we have a robot loading parts in and out of this machine. Again, we're automating the process. All the data we're getting here is all part of this story that we're building about how the part has evolved as it's gone through the factory. We can also use data from this final CMM inspection to actually impact the CNC machining operations previously. So we can actually, through Renishaw Central, connect the CMM back to the machining process. And the real beauty about Renishaw Central is it allows us to start to use process data all throughout the process chain. You can impact processes before or after the measurements being made. So it allows complete transparency of where measurements need to be made and allows you to control processes anywhere in the factory. Renishaw Central gives you the visibility of everything that's happening in the factory. You have machine status, machine alarms, at a glance view of all the processes that are involved in your manufacturing process. You can then look at any of those individual processes and understand what's gone on recently in terms of recent measurements, updates, alarms on the machines. And over time, this then gives you all the information you need to prove the traceability of the process, how the part has evolved going through the factory, but also the insights to make continuous improvements, how to optimize your process and improve your capability over time. On this part of our stand, we've got the focus is REVO. REVO is our 5-axis scanning system that uses multiple sensors for very fast, accurate measurement on coordinate measure machines. So we've got a combination here of some applications of REVO being used across multiple industries, but also the wide range of Styli configurations and sensors that are available with the system. REVO is an infinitely positioning head, which means it can index to any angle, access any feature, minimize the number of styli that are used to measure parts for multiple industries. We've also got multiple sensors, so not just tactile measurement, we can carry out surface finish measurement on the same machine. Our latest sensor is an ultrasonic probe which measures thickness of parts in difficult to access locations. We also have camera-based systems for optical measurement, used for imaging, taking pictures of features, and also with the use of an angle change mirror, we can drop down inside complex components such as stators for electric vehicles and make measurements of the hairpin copper wires, the paper insulation, and all the key features that need to be measured on these sorts of components. So as you can see, REVO offers incredible speed of measurement, the flexibility of using multiple sensors all on one device. So it saves the amount of devices that are required in the quality lab. It allows you to measure much more quickly without loss of accuracy. And obviously this flexibility means whatever you're making, your products change, we have the different sensors and the ability to measure all your designs, not just now and in the future. This is why we have blue chip companies in both aerospace, medical and automotive selecting REVO as their future-proof system for dimensional and feature measurement. In this area, we're featuring our focus on technology we offer towards CNC machines. So it's not just tool setting systems and probing systems, but also around calibration, and probably more importantly, some of the apps and software we provide. Making probing easier on the machine tool is a key objective of ours. So what we have here is we have our Sprint OSP60 scanning probe, and some of the applications where it can be used for machine health check, for surface waviness characterization, for freeform surfaces, for blades, and also for adaptive machining tasks. The difference between Sprint and a touch trigger probe is it's continuously providing data, 1,000 points per second, which allows us to capture large amounts of data very quickly. In this video here, we've got a combination of different applications of probing systems, scanning, touch trigger. We have contact, non-contact tool setting systems, and the software and the apps that we use to control these at the machine. And here we have a demonstration of some of our mobile apps. So again, to make probing easier, to avoid looking for a programming manual, we have smartphone apps that can reside on phones, tablets, but also on the CNC controller next to your machine. This is a very simple, intuitive process whereby you select the technology you want, you select the feature that you want to measure, you input a few parameters about the size of the feature, and it gives you the code that you need to input into the machine to actually execute that probing cycle. We can also run a simulation for the video to show exactly what's going to be happening when we measure that feature. What this means is you just grab the phone from your pocket, you can look at the feature you want to measure, and it gives you the code to input into the machine. Then once you're on the machine using the apps, you start to build these into your CNC programs. We're making probing much easier to integrate into your CNC process on a daily basis. Here at EMO in Hannover, we're showing our NC4 Blue non-contact laser tool setter. Industry-leading performance, speed, and range of products available to the market. Using a unique blue laser with a shorter wavelength gives greater tool-to-tool accuracy, the ability to measure small tools, and as you can see here, we have a wide range of different spans and combinations of standard systems and hybrid systems. So whatever your machine configuration, we have some hardware that would fit your machine. Here at EMO, we're very pleased to be able to show off our Fortis range of enclosed enclosures for hostile environments. So this is a range of linear encoders which can be used on CNC machine tools and grinders. So here at EMO, we have lots of our machine tool OEM customers where we have the conversations to show them these systems that can be fitted to the latest technology machines that they're building. Here are the latest products from our industrial automation product group. We recognise the increased use of robots for automation, but also for processing in industry. So what we've introduced are a range of products to allow people to integrate robots more simply, to set up robots more simply, to calibrate robots. So what we have here is a robot from Fanuc with a probe attached to it, which allows us to find the parts before we carry any processing, allows us to measure tools in a motorised spindle, and allows us to perform precise machining operations using a robot. So it's very much similar to the way that we'd use probes on a CNC machine tool. We're now being applied to a robot for very fast setup of the tools and of the workpiece for ensuring the accuracy of the machining processes. It's not just machining, this system can also be used with welding, with spraying, pick in place and assembly. What we also have to complement this product range are a range of Ballbar systems. So you may be familiar with the Ballbar we introduced for CNC machine performance assessment. This is a similar concept but for the use with robots. A single Ballbar, which is used for checking the volumetric accuracy of the robot, and a tripod system which allows us to position the tip or the tool that's being used on a robot and to work out exactly how accurate the robot is and to allow us to calculate the pivot points on the joints to actually drive improvements in contouring accuracy and positioning repeatability with the robots. A new product that we have here at EMO this year is the RMP24 Micro. It's the world's smallest radio transmission machine tool probe. Been designed for micro machines such as this one, which are used for watchmaking and medical manufacturing. So it's a 24mm diameter radio transmission probe that uses 2 button cells. So this complements the small size of the spindle, the taper and the tools that are used for these micro miniature machining operations. This is a display of some of our machine tool products. We have the very latest generation RMI-QE technology using this new miniature interface, and with the probes with this system you can achieve 5 years battery life. So we've got incredible saving there in terms of the power consumption of the products. But also our new RMP24 Micro, that's part of this product range that we'll be featuring and launched this year at EMO. But it's not just the latest generation products we've got here, we've also got a wide range of existing products. We have different configurations of optical transmission, radio transmission, kinematic and strain gauge probes, contact, non-contact tool setters. Whatever size machine, whatever application, whatever industry you're in, we have the range of probes to suit your needs. This area focuses on machine calibration and machine performance optimization. So we have the range of products here to suit machine calibration and performance testing. A range of products include our laser interferometer, XL80, and a rotary calibrator. We also have our XM60, which allows you to carry out a calibration of an axis, understanding all 6 degrees of freedom and error in one test. And also our QC20 Ballbar. This is used to diagnose machine performance issues, to measure the circularity, any servo mismatch, backlash on the machine, and allows you to keep your machine in tune and performing the level of accuracy that's required for high precision manufacturing. Renishaw invented the first touch trigger probe back in 1973, and very soon after we had to develop the Styli. So we've been designing and building Styli for many, many years. Renishaw offer a wide range of Styli, different thread sizes, M2, M3, M4 and M5, different configurations, different materials for the shanks, different ball materials, different ball diameters. So whatever your requirements may be for the Styli, we have something there to actually allow you to make your measurements. And you have to remember, quality begins at this ruby ball. So precision Styli are needed, and that's where we pride ourselves in the products we produce. We also produce a wide range of fixturing systems. These are metrology fixtures for use on CMMs and on gauging systems. We have modular fixturing, which allows you to build fixtures very quickly. We have quick load systems, which give a repeatable location of a fixture in the machine to reduce setup time. And also a range of fixturing elements for optical measuring systems for use with cameras.
Now you've had that fantastic tour, get in touch with us if you'd like to know more, or visit our EMO Hub.